is Nelson, and today we're at Mission San Juan Bautista, located in the town of San Juan Bautista, California, about 120 miles south of Petaluma. It was founded in 1797 by Father Fermin Lasuen and named after John the Baptist. The mission has been in constant use as a Catholic church since its founding. San Juan Bautista is the 15th in the California mission chain. Now let's take a closer look at the mission. I'm standing in the long monastery corridor of the mission. Along this hallway are rooms where the padres lived. The rooms are now used for museum displays of the mission's rich and colorful past. The Indians of the area were part of the Ohlone tribe. They were friendly and came to help build the mission, work in the fields, and take care of the cattle. The Indians built all the buildings and did nearly all the work on the mission. The Indians liked the mission lifestyle so much the church was expanded to hold 1,000 people. Now I'm standing in front of the church. The builders of the mission made a major mistake by building it almost directly on top of the San Andreas Fault, which I'll show you in a few minutes. In October of 1798, the shaking was so bad that the missionaries slept outside for a whole month. The earth shook as many as 6 times in one day, leaving many huge cracks in both the buildings and the original church fell down and was rebuilt in 1803. It was designed to be the largest church in the chain of missions, 62 feet by 188, with 3 aisles and adobe walls 3 feet thick. Let's go inside and have a look. Just a few steps inside the doors, if you look down at the old red tile floor, you'll see a 180-year-old animal paw print. It was probably left by a wandering animal before the tiles dried. Just about everything in this church is original from 1803. Much of the interior was built and painted by Thomas Doe, a sailor from Boston who jumped ship in Monterey in 1816, thereby becoming the first American settler in California. Although he was not a great artist, he worked just for room and board, and the colors he mixed were so durable that his original work continues to glow today. The original tiles are still on the floor of the church. The baptismal font was sculpted by the Indians from a huge block of native sandstone. Now I'll show you more of the church. And now we'll go up to the cemetery. The cemetery is an olive grove behind the church. There are more than 4,000 Indians buried in this mission cemetery, which is located right on the San Andreas earthquake fault. The Indians were buried in their blankets without coffins. As at other locations, the mission Indians eventually died off. These are some of the original adobe bricks from the 1803 Mission San Juan Bautista construction. If you look down the hillside, you can see the actual San Andreas earthquake fault. It runs along the original El Camino, which is the dirt road you can see below us. This is the fault which caused the destruction of the church in 1798. There was also lots of damage at the mission from the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. The building was easily repaired. Now we'll take a look at the mission garden. This is a statue of Father Lasuen who founded this mission in 1797. After Mexico won its independence from Spain, it found it could no longer afford to keep the missions running. Mexico decided to sell off all the mission property to Mexican citizens. Later on, California became a part of the United States. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln signed an act declaring that all the 21 missions in the California mission chain would become property of the Catholic Church. They have remained so ever since. Mission San Juan Bautista has served Mass daily since 1797. It was restored first in 1884, then again in 1949. It continues to serve as a Catholic parish for the town of San Juan Bautista, as it has for more than 200 years. The small town of San Juan Bautista grew up around the mission. Most of the old buildings were constructed around the large plaza in front of the mission and can be seen today as they looked 100 years ago. The town grew rapidly during the gold rush and continues to be a thriving community today. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Mission San Juan Bautista as much as I've enjoyed giving it. Thank you.